To this presentation, Best Patient Attraction Plan for Plastic Surgeons Who Want to Grow Fast. Now, it's a great time to look at your patient attraction strategy so that you can be confident you're doing the right things to get your fair share of patient leads and conversions. And by the way, if you hear me out to the end, you'll be receiving my free patient attraction and conversion blueprint. So stay with me. Now, let me ask you this. Is your practice stagnant or maybe even struggling? So maybe you've got the practice, the team, and the skills, but maybe not the patients. And then other problems you may be facing most likely include increasing competition, falling conversion rates, as well as prospective new cosmetic patients who aren't finding you. Now, if you partner with our popular done-for-you service, though, then we can get your phones ringing with patient leads wanting your cosmetic services. And isn't that what you ultimately want? More leads, more inquiries, more conversions, more money, and more growth? So here's the thing. With so many choices empowering people to make decisions, prospective cosmetic patients are gaining complete control over the decision-making process, especially in the plastic surgery market. So what do I mean by that? Well, patients are comparison shopping like never before. They're taking a lot of time to research and evaluate their options. So that becomes a big challenge for surgeons like yourself. That's essentially why I prepared this presentation for you, because I want to show you how to transform your patient lead generation plan from a lack of leads with poor conversion rates to a constant stream of new patients hungry for your services. In fact, these are the ideal types of leads since they're typically ready to convert to paid procedures right away. And the best part? You can get all these benefits on autopilot with no need to hire more staff. This gives you an opportunity to dominate your market because you'll be firing on all cylinders while your competitors continue their narrow focus down the wrong road. And I'll explain that in more detail later though. But for now, here's what you're going to discover when you decide to work with us. You'll learn how to set up a system for creating a powerful plan to predictably keep a steady stream of patient leads coming to you. Also, how to nurture those leads so they convert to callers who book appointments, show up, and say yes at their consultation. And then also how to uncover the best ways to identify the practice gaps that most hurt your bottom line and how to turn them into money-making profit centers. I'm actually going to show you a simple way to get a 786% to a 1500% proven ROI from your efforts without wasting time redesigning your website again, spending more money on organic SEO to get ranked, or hiring more staff. Because if you're like anything like these other plastic surgeons I work with, you too are so tired of figuring out what to do to bring in more cosmetic patients, and you're likely frustrated losing money on tactics that are old or simply don't work anymore, and you're sick of the revenue roller coaster, then this presentation is for you because I'm going to show you a better way. When a plastic surgery practice is looking to grow and succeed, the first course of action is to create a powerful, robust, and proven marketing plan. Because if you don't have that, then you're in trouble. If you do, however, then you're in good hands. So just imagine the peace of mind you'll have once you're able to identify the new patient lead strategies as well as practice gaps keeping you from more patients, more procedures, and more revenues. By the way, I'm going to lay out exactly what you need to do to plug up the holes costing you time and money so you can do it yourself, or if you decide to get the help and support you need, then I'd be happy to do it for you. At the end of this presentation though, I'll make it super simple for you. I'd offer my full range of services to you so you can make an informed decision to grow your practice the right way, and let me help you do that. Now, just in case you're not familiar with my work, I am Maley, author, speaker, consultant, and trainer for the plastic surgery industry, and I have been since year 2000. Now, I've been interviewed by NBC, Today, and the Wall Street Journal, and my patient attraction and conversion strategies, as well as done-for-you services, have made more than $18 million in revenues for plastic surgeons all over the world. And I plan on doubling that once we fix your lead generation system and plug up the holes we're talking about here. Now, on a personal note, because people ask me this all the time, I'm based out of Sausalito, California. It's a small sailboat community right over the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. So the views are spectacular, and I highly recommend you take a helicopter tour to check out the crazy expensive real estate. Okay, let's start with the practice gaps most affecting your bottom line, and then we'll talk about the quickest fixes to turn things around. So I'll jump right in with the first one. You need more patient leads. Now, this is the number one priority in any cosmetic practice. New leads are the lifeblood of your practice. If you want more cash paying patients and surgeries, you need more leads. But where do these leads come from? And how do you get a predictable and steady flow of them? You already know you have to pay to play in today's marketplace. And why is that? Because free organic search engine optimization, otherwise known as SEO, is no longer the go-to search ranking strategy. And gone are the days of you being found by accident or just because you've updated your website. You're most likely paying for expensive pay-per-click, otherwise known as PPC AdWords, but so is everybody else. That's why it's so expensive. You have to have a really big budget to outspend your competitors to get ranked. Now, don't get me wrong. While PPC AdWords is a great strategy, I propose adding a few more channels so you don't have to rely only on Google AdWords, especially since Google loves to change things up regularly. Now, the secret to winning in this industry is to go where others are not, and to do it in a way prospective patients respond to. That means you place a variety of different ads in strategic places where you're not competing with every other Tom, Dick, and Harry. And they're shown more often because you get more ad placement when you're paying less per ad click. That means you get more attention, and attention is the name of the game, right? But then ad design is crucial to get a click. For example, which ad do you think gets a better response? Well, the second ad gets a better response, way better than the first ad. And why is that? Because it's eye-catching, it's engaging, and it offers the consumer more value than the first ad. Because the only thing that counts at this stage is to encourage a prospective cosmetic patient to take the next step, and that is to click on your ad. Otherwise, you're spending money on leads that aren't making you any money. But here's the kicker. Leads are only one part of it. Now this leads me to talk about the next one, which is practice gap number 2, weak follow-up on incoming leads. Most plastic surgeons suffer lost profits here every day, every month, and every year from this silent money waster. I think you'll be surprised at the stats when it comes to staff following up on leads you spent a fortune to get in the first place. 48% of practices never even follow up. The average first follow-up is 72 hours later. Only 25% of practices make 2 contact attempts. And 64% of practices do not have any organized way to follow up on a lead. But it's not your staff's fault. They have not been trained on how to do it professionally, nor is this their expertise, nor do they have the time. Their expertise is in working with and providing excellent customer service to your visiting patients, I hope. Now, this is actually good news for you. And why is that? Because this is a game changer and a way to dominate your market when you follow up faster and better than your competitors. Because how crazy is it to spend a fortune on lead generation but not spend any or enough time and investment on converting them? How frustrating is it to throw money at new patient leads that should be building your practice, but you're not sure if it's a good investment or money down the drain? The reality is it takes a lot more follow-up than anticipated to get and keep a prospective patient's attention because life gets in the way. That's why you have to take emotions out of following up. And remember, the prospective patient contacted you, so a true professional does all they can to see it through to a conclusion. But honestly, most staff don't have the right mindset, the right scripts, or the right stomach for assertively following up. When you do follow up professionally, you too will see great results like these. Now here's a typical case study. There were 100 leads that came in. Their conversion rate was 25%, so they were able to convert 25 of them. But that still left 75 who did not book. So using our strategies to professionally follow up with these people, it converted another 15%, which equals 11 more surgeries. Now, the average surgical value was $6,000 in this case, so the additional revenues in 1 month was $66,000. And if you do that month after month, do you realize that's an extra $792,000 per year when you work your leads? Nice, huh? Now, here's the next practice gap. Practice gap number 3, staff can't convert callers or consults. Every practice's success is limited by their staff's ability to convert callers to appointments and appointments to paid procedures. It's way too competitive to be mediocre at this stage of the lead process. Take the phone leads. Almost every office is challenged by this. Phone trees, answering machines, indifferent or unfriendly staff, or new untrained staff, and on and on. Phones are taken way too lightly because it's not enough to have a friendly staff person answering the phones. They also have to be skilled. Otherwise, you lose money. Look what happens when, not if, you lose 1 caller per day worth only $2,000, and that's on the low side, by the way, because it adds up fast. You lose 1 caller per day at $2,000 times 22 days per month times 12 months a year. Do you realize that's an extra $528,000 of lost profits just because your phone staff isn't trained properly? Now, an easy fix is to give your receptionists the scripts and the training they need to keep you busy with booked appointments. It's time and money well spent. And then what's your coordinator's converting rate? The prospective patients who call you, schedule an appointment, and show up are actually a hot prospect. They've already decided to move forward to find a solution to something that bothers them, or they wouldn't have gone to this much trouble. Your patient coordinator needs to be a well-trained professional with proven scripts, strategies, and tools to get the patients to a yes. For example, does your coordinator know how to position you, the surgeon, as the best choice? Qualify the patient to prepare them for the quote presentation? Present with confidence to get the patient excited about moving forward? Move them closer to choosing your services. And ultimately, do they know how to ask for a decision? Most coordinators don't ask because they haven't been trained to do so comfortably and professionally. Now, if you want my help, I'm going to give and equip your receptionist and patient coordinator with all the tools they need to get really good at converting callers and consultations. Because nothing else matters until the patients say yes and give you money. Until a transaction is made, a lead is still just that, a lead. We need your staff to move them along the buyer journey and convert the consultation. And then here's deadly practice gap because it's so silent, and it's practice gap number 4. You ignore patients who would return and refer. Just because prospective patients don't say yes right away doesn't mean never. They may simply be saying not yet or not now, so you want to nurture that relationship. Now, there are all sorts of reasons prospective patients delay and procrastinate. Life could have gotten in the way, so when you keep in touch, you stay top of mind. So they call you rather than your competitors when they are ready to move forward. And there's even more leverage and opportunity right under your nose to double your results when you also stay in touch with your established patients who already know, like, and trust you, and who would gladly return and refer if prompted. Now, your established patients are also less price sensitive because they have more to go on than just price. They already know firsthand how great you are, and they're willing to pay fairly for it. And we all know a majority of your new patients come from your current patients. So this is the new mantra to live by. Retention is the new patient attraction strategy that costs very little time and money but adds up to easy profits. Now, many of those patients would gladly return and refer given the opportunity. But you take them for granted, and so naturally they feel neglected. So here's what happens. Your patients didn't stop wanting cosmetic services. That's definitely not the case. They simply stopped wanting them from you because you've been ignoring them. Interesting, right? Because if you think about it, your patients have endless needs, especially as the aging process continues. Now, your cosmetic patients enter different doors to your practice, whether it be for surgery, then lasers, and then injectables, or the other way around. So I highly recommend you promote all of your services and not just surgery. This is one way for you to level up your practice. This is what growth-focused practices do to stay on top. So why not take your practice to the next level by unifying your marketing strategy to drive new patient growth and increase your bottom line through retention? It's easy once you adopt the cosmetic patient for life retention mentality and nurture these patients with strategic email marketing, since that's your biggest opportunity for quick cash surges and consistent revenues. Now, this is where the leverage is, since it costs a fortune to attract them and almost nothing to hang on to them. But to stay in touch, you can't just slap an email together and blast it out. These emails must be segmented and compelling to get opened and responded to. Now, as you probably know, everyone's email box is too full to cheap out on this. And here's what I mean. A very nice practice I know in a competitive area sends out this cheap-looking email that is not portraying their image as a successful plastic surgery practice. Instead, this is how a professional email looks. It's visually appealing, it's strategic, it's informative, and it's compelling. And best of all, it works. Here are the actual results that came from this email. We had a 32% open rate when the average is only 19.9%. There were 192 clicks to their website, 18 calls, 9 booked appointments for non-surgical treatments, and then 7 surgical consultations, which equaled $58,500 of estimated revenues. So let me ask you, do you believe if you too would get at least 3 or more procedures per month from a plan to attract new patient leads, follow up on them, convert them, and then use strategic email like this to retain them? If so, what's this worth to you? An additional $20,000, $40,000, $60,000 per month? Obviously, it's worth it. So if you don't want to do it, outsource it, because somebody should be doing this type of high-end, feel-good promotion to grow your cosmetic revenues and keep a steady stream of cash-paying patients coming to you. Okay, I covered a lot here, so to recap, here are the practice gaps affecting your bottom line the most. You need more cosmetic patient leads because prospective patients can't easily find you organically. You have weak follow-up on your incoming leads, your staff can't convert new callers or consults, and you ignore patients who would return and refer. So here's a question for you. What if you could easily turn on a new patient lead generator and plug up the practice gaps that are costing you time, money, and effort, and have it handled for you so you didn't have to hassle with it? Would that give you back control over your day? Would you enjoy the freedom from managing staff and processes, since you know that someone else is focused on growing your practice for you? If so, would you like some help with that? What if we did it for you? We design and run the display ad campaigns on several platforms. We follow up on incoming leads via email, text, and follow-up phone calls. We design and send out retention emails that get opened and acted on. We track all results and calls and prepare progress reports showing you your ROI. Now you and your staff are freed up to focus on your core competency, and that is to focus on 5-star customer service with patients. And that's what leads to happy patients and satisfied staff, patients who return and refer and give you 5-star reviews to attract more new patients. So when you outsource patient lead generation, follow-up, conversion, retention, as well as sales training, you now have a well-oiled machine working for you. And what comes with that? You guessed it, a whole lot of confidence and peace of mind. Peace of mind knowing the key metrics in your practice are being handled by smart professionals. Now, this gives you control over your day so you're more profitable and productive. And you have peace of mind knowing you get back time and achieve better results. This is how you strategically compete and gain market share. So if this all-in-one solution makes sense to you, let me and my team execute it for you and hand you the leads when the patients are ready to book an appointment. The done-for-you patient attraction lead system is called PALS, and it consists of several platforms and a dashboard that gives you the certainty you need, knowing you have a system to predictably and reliably keep new cosmetic patient leads coming in month after month. It provides an automatic system that allows you and your team to focus on patient care, while my team and I focus on getting you more leads and more patients. and includes a proprietary formula of more patient leads plus nurture plus follow-up equals conversion. This is what keeps a steady stream of leads and revenues coming to you consistently for your peace of mind, knowing you have a marketing machine working in the background. So when you say yes, all we need from you to get started is for you to decide on the procedures you want to focus on and the ad spend investment you want to make. Now the minimum is $1,000 per month, but the more the better, of course. And then we do the rest by going into stealth mode, designing your unique ads and customizing your patient lead and follow-up platforms. So we track all results and do everything possible to turn that lead into a fully booked consultation for you without wasting you or your staff's time. Now, I can't tell you all that goes into our secret sauce because then others would try to copy us and you would lose your competitive edge. Instead, I'll give you a money-back guarantee. If we do not at least double your investment within 60 days, we'll promptly return your service fees, no questions asked. And just to sweeten the deal so you don't delay, if you partner with us now, you're going to receive bonus number 1. I'm going to train your staff to convert these leads when they visit. They'll get the tools, scripts, and strategies to increase their conversions by at least 15%. Now here's what Dr. Asasa said about my materials. Catherine Maley turned our practice around. We attended her How to Convert More Consultations webinar and implemented her system the following week. We converted more consultations in that week than we did in the entire month. Our practice went from a painful 50% no-show rate to a remarkable 85% show rate. Even more impressive was our close ratio, from 35% to 80% and still increasing. We would recommend her to any practice that's looking to not only increase their profits today, but sustain a healthy flow of income for many years to come. Thanks, Catherine. And then Dr. Corrado said it very shortly and succinctly. Our consult conversion rates were running at 40 to 50%. Then we attended Catherine's online training and implemented her strategies. They immediately increased conversion rates to 75 to 80%. Nice, right? And then here's bonus number 2. It includes 2 30-minute free consultation calls with me personally. Now we'll review your current processes to close up money-burning gaps that hurt your results. Now these calls are always enlightening and energizing because it's exciting to see how a few tweaks can change everything. So here's what Dr. Zim said. Consulting with Catherine has been extremely helpful. I now see the nuances and strategies it takes for me to stand out amongst the heavy competition surrounding me. She confirmed my efforts and ideas that made sense and saved me money and wasted time going down the wrong road. I now have a workable plan to continue to grow my practice, which gave me confidence and optimism for the future. I highly recommend her. And then Dr. Caravino runs a very successful practice in Houston, and he said, Catherine's consulting services have paid for itself many times over the investment I made engaging with her. Working with her helped change my perspective of how to run my already successful practice to one that's more streamlined and profitable. The training she gave my staff was also fantastic. I hear my staff using Catherine's strategies to close more calls and consultations. They're also taking more initiative to implement the strategies Catherine customized for our practice. If you've plateaued or if the gaps in your processes are costing you, Catherine can help. She's worth every penny. Thanks, Dr. Caravino. And then here's bonus number 3. Since you're watching this presentation, I want to reward you for partnering with me, so I've reduced the customization and implementation fee from $19.97 to only $9.97. Now, just so you know, a ton of work goes into the back end of this system because we have to set up not only the lead generation, but also the follow-up process of email, text, phone calls, reporting, and a lot more. So we track important metrics so that you know your business growth. So how much is it to partner with me? Well, you have 2 options in this, so let me briefly break it down. Let's start with how much it would be for you to do it yourself the right way as I laid out here. For the first option, you would need to pay staff to design banner ads that get clicked on, staff to set up ad campaigns and upload them to the internet. So staff needs to be tech savvy to get ads approved using different platforms. Then you also need to pay vendors to monitor calls and track results. Then you need staff to follow up on leads via phone calls, emails, and text. Then you need staff to write email copy and design professional emails and send them out. And then you need to hire somebody to track all these results from the various platforms. Now, all this takes at least 2 or 3 staff members and several outside vendors, and it can easily add up to 100 grand in fees, plus salaries, plus benefits, plus sick days. And on top of all that, you get to manage these vendors and staff members to be sure the job is getting done. One little, and by little I mean big problem, most surgeons don't want to manage more staff, nor do they want to spend more than they have to. As for the second option, you could partner with me and my team and we'll do it all for you. Now for this second option, we normally charge $59.97 per month for all these services charged separately because so much labor, creativity, and technology goes into it. However, because you've watched this to the end, I'm offering you a special combination fee of only $29.97 per month, so you save $36,000 per year. Now this is a much better deal than the first option, wouldn't you say? So for the price of a few wrinkle filler patients, you can have the Patient Attraction Lead System, PALS, bringing you patient leads predictably week after week. However, we can only work with one surgeon per area. Because our Patient Attraction Lead System gives you the competitive edge over your competitors, it would be a conflict for us to help you get leads as well as the other guys in your community. So you'll want to act now to get the unfair advantage over your competitors. Just go to prospecttopatient.com and let's see if your area is still open. Now, one more thing though to make this a no-brainer offer, you simply make an investment, non-refundable, a small investment in the reduced customization and implementation fee of only $9.97, and then you're not charged again until your first ads start running. And your themed email goes out to get your phones ringing to convert more incoming leads, so you're never out of pocket because you'll make that money back in new revenues gained before your credit card payments even due. With my money back guarantee, there's nothing to lose and only new patients to gain. So let's get started right away. Go to prospecttopatient.com and let's see if your area is still available. It's really time to stop the bleeding of lost practice profits from these practice gaps. The most successful plastic surgeons leverage their time, money, and resources by doing what is proven to work and getting it done in the least amount of time with the least amount of staff and hassle. Because if you decide not to move forward with this Patient Attraction Lead System, done for you service I laid out here, what's going to happen to your growth this year? You'll likely continue to experience not enough patient leads coming in. You'll keep losing leads to your competitors. You'll wonder if your leads are being followed up on. You're listening to your staff complain about that they don't have any time to follow up and not knowing your true return on your investment from your advertising costs. Let's plug up the practice gaps by getting you more patient leads, having the professionals follow up on those incoming leads, and converting those leads so you and your staff focus on excellent patient care. Because here's what we both know. Attracting and converting new patients to your practice has become a huge undertaking. Lead conversion continues to decrease because it's gotten so noisy in the marketplace, which makes following up on these incoming leads crucial to your success. And using your limited resources to focus on patient care while outsourcing the rest is beyond important. It's guaranteed to get your results or your money back. So realistically, you have nothing to lose. So head over to prospecttopatient.com to see if your area is still available. Now let's be honest, at the end of the day, this is just not another business expense you need to jot down on a piece of paper or in an Excel spreadsheet. This is different. This is actually an investment in growing your practice. Now, we have extensive experience with developing and executing plastic surgery marketing plans and would be happy to partner with you by taking this off your already busy plate. Now, with that said, thank you for your trust in me. When we partner, I'll do everything I can to get you more patients and more profits and train your staff to be converting rock stars. Go now to prospecttopatient.com and we'll talk soon.